Hello and welcome. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It's great to have you all here. It is Monday. It is Monday, June 17th. So we are more than halfway through June, which is wild to think about. Today is kind of the day that I have set for myself to get back to work and start getting into my summer schedule. So obviously the trip to England really disrupted my routine and my schedule, and then since being back I've not been sticking to a regular schedule. I've not been doing really any of my regular summer work. I've not been working on the books. I've not been doing any writing or editing. I'm not doing any coaching or freelance work at the moment. That's something I really need to get started back up again. So yeah, there's a lot to do, and I only have about 2 months left before I'm back to working full-time, which sounds like a lot of time. 2 months, that sounds like a lot of time, but it's been just over a month already, and that has gone by in a blink. Like, I honestly can't believe it's mid-June already. So I know August 22nd is going to be here before I know it, and we have a book to publish before then. I have freelance and coaching and, you know, small business stuff I need to be working on. That really is kind of, I'd wrapped up a lot of stuff before the end of the semester, and then it's kind of stalled out. I've not really been doing anything in that area, and so that needs to get started back up again. I have not been on LinkedIn since December, so that's a bit terrifying. So yeah, today is the organization and planning day, but I think we might do a little bit of editing today as well. So I need to work in my planner. I've opened my planner up and I've realized that the last time I actually wrote any tasks in my planner was the end of April. So I have not touched it for all of May or all of June so far. That is just a little bit shocking to me. That's the longest I've gone, and I don't know how long, in using my planner. So that needs to be corrected. I do want to go back through May and fill in like all the days of the trip, what we did, but I'm going to do that later. So today I want to just go back through June and just cross-reference things with my iCal calendar in my phone, just so that I have that record. I like having a paper record of appointments and things like that. I wouldn't want my calendar to just be in iCal, even though that is on my phone and on my laptop and my tablets. I like having a paper version as well. I'm very old school and analog in that way. I think I'm going to start off doing some work in the planner, but then we'll get Scrivener opened up and take a look at where things are at in that. I have finished reading draft 2 on my Kindle. You will have seen that in the last vlog. So I'm ready to get Scrivener opened back up, get my notes opened back up, and start figuring out how much work needs to be done for draft 3. So how many notes I've got after reading draft 2. I need to add to my notes, create my kind of editing list, editing tasks, or editing notes list, if you will, for draft 3, so that I can figure out how long I think draft 3 is going to take. I don't think it'll take that long, and I really would like to start copy editing by the end of this week if possible. So we'll go over everything that's left to do in that and make a detailed kind of plan for that book and getting that published, and I'll share some deadlines and a rough schedule. I know I want it published by a certain point, and then there needs to be deadlines leading up to that for all the other stages. So we'll go over all of that later in this vlog. But I also, even though it's Monday and even though it's a work day, I am still on summer break. So it's really important to me this summer that I continue resting and relaxing. So we won't be working for long, but I do want to get at least a few hours worth of work done here at the desk before I go crash on the couch and relax for the afternoon. It is 10:56. I've been up since 5:30. I've gone out for a walk. I've taken out my trash. I've come back and taken a shower. I've washed my hair. My hair is mostly dry, but it's still a little bit damp. I'm letting it just air dry today. I've had breakfast. Might get some coffee later. So yeah, I'm just kind of ready to start getting to work. It's almost 11, but I think I might work from like now 11ish until maybe like 3ish. I think 4 hours. I feel like 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours would be a really good amount. So I think we'll stop somewhere between 2 and 3 and shift to some reading and just relaxing and having a nice chilled out afternoon. I'm gonna get my new lovely external monitor fired up, although I don't need it just yet for doing the planning, but we will get that turned on and use that a little bit today, so that's exciting. I think I'm gonna spend like 30 minutes or so working on my planner. I need, there's so much work I need to do in getting my planner updated and able to be used effectively again for the rest of the summer. So I want to get that going, and then we will shift to Scrivener and Across the Pond 4, and I will give you all the book updates. Okay, it is now 11:30, but I love this monitor so much. Like, I haven't been able to use it that much since I got it, but every time I sit down here and turn it on, it's just like, wow. But I wanted to get Scrivener opened up for the first time in I don't know how long. Hold on, I might be able to check this if I go to outliner mode. The last date I'm seeing is April 15th. Modified April 15th. I know I worked on this after April 15th. So where the manuscript is right now, the manuscript is at 112,984 words. It's sitting at 24 chapters plus an epilogue. It is currently at draft 2. So that reminds me, I do need to, can I mass snapshot? Take snapshots of selected documents. I can snapshot multiple things at once. That's awesome. Okay, so I've now done some snapshots. Okay, so pull up my editing notes, things that I can share with you. There's a few things that I want to rename just to make sure they're not going to get confused with real people or real things. I mean, I always have the note at the front saying that it's a coincidence if it's similar, but I do still try to, especially when I'm making up a business in a book, I try to make sure there's not a real business that is similar. So there's some things I want to rename. I put a question mark next to trim down larger chapters or split into 2. I might not worry about that because when I was reading through it, there were never any chapters that felt like, oh my gosh, this chapter is going on forever. So I know some of them are on the longer side. I see one that's 5,900 words, so just under 6,000 words. I try not to have my chapters be more than 5,000 words at the most. I don't know where I got that number from, so don't ask if there's some sort of rule. I've not yet, if anyone knows of a rule for fiction writing, for romance writing as far as chapter lengths, please let us know in the comments. I do not know of any rules. I just know that a typical academic chapter, if you're doing academic writing, is about 5,000 words. So I've always figured if 5,000 words is considered long for an academic chapter, it's definitely getting long for a fiction chapter, particularly for romance. I feel like in fantasy, and there's probably some other genres, women's fiction, you can probably get away with longer chapters. And I think that's where I kind of walk the line. I technically market my books as romance, but they are also kind of women's fiction. I am definitely influenced by women's fiction and chick lit of the like early 2000s. Like that's just what I start, like that was the those were the books, that was the reading I was doing when I started to get really into writing myself. And I started working on this series in 2012. Definitely I'm much more influenced by early 2000s rom-com chick lit authors like Sophie Kinsella, Jane Green. I'm trying to think of other author names. In the early 2000s, there were a lot of books I was reading that weren't by specific authors. I think Jane Green and Sophie Kinsella were two of the few authors who I was reading consistently. There's another author, I think Kathleen Tesaro. I read 2 or 3 of her books and really loved them. But there was a publishing company called Red Dress Inc., like I-N-K. And I would go to Barnes & Noble or Borders. Who remembers Borders books? Borders Books and Music. I'd go to Barnes & Noble or I'd go to Borders, and I would go to the fiction section because they weren't shelved in romance. They were shelved in literature and fiction. And I would go to the lit and fiction section and I would just scan. Let's go get one so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll show you my little cubby hole of like some of my favorite books. This is random, a random turn for the vlog. Are any of these Red Dress Inc. books though? No, none of these ones are. But I'm just gonna give you a quick scan. These are definitely like what I'm talking about. I've got a bunch of Sophie Kinsella here. These are all Sophie Kinsella. Claire Naylor, loved Claire Naylor. I've got 4 books by her here, but then she also co-authored these 2 books. And then these are all some favorites. You can see there was some real romance back in there from the beginning. Kathleen Tesaro, I've got 3 books by her. The Flirt, Elegance, and Innocence. I think Elegance was the first one I read of hers. So these are all like women's, like there's romance in them, but they're also women's fiction. Sophie Kinsella is definitely rom-com and like comedic women's fiction. So like these are all books that really kind of walked that line between classic romance and women's fiction. Where are they used to be here, but I think they're now on this stack. I want to show you the Red Dress Inc. books. Oh, there they are. I thought it was at the bottom, but they're at the top. But you can see they've got these little icons, Red Dress Inc. I would walk down the bookshelves at Barnes & Noble looking for that icon. And these are both Red Dress Inc. books as well. And there's one. And do I have any more? These are all books I need to go through and declutter. And I never show you guys this. Why am I showing you this? These are all books I need to go through, declutter these, like downsize some of these. There's another Red Dress Inc. book. And then I also need to go through and like decide of the books on the shelf which ones I'm keeping. I want to get it so that I clear out this pile, I clear out these shelves, I clear out this pile, and everything fits on those and on here. Oh, these are probably also, there's probably also some Red Dress Inc. books mixed in with here. But point being, if there is a point to any of this, I used to go to the bookshop and just scan the spines of the books on the shelves for books by that publisher. I don't even know if Red Dress Inc. is still in business anymore, like if they're still publishing, but I used to look specifically for those books because they were all just so good. They were romance, but they were also more about a character, a main female character, who was on a journey of self-discovery, and she almost always ended up with the guy at the end. And there was always a happy ending. It wasn't like a tragic story. It wasn't something where you end up crying at the end, but the book still somehow feels life-affirming or something. They were kind of the books that showed me that romance could be more than just fluff. And I should be careful how I say that, because I love just straight up romance. I love when the plot isn't that complicated and it's just about the main female and the main male character getting over their crap and falling in love. I love those books. I love reading those books. I don't know that I'd be very good at writing those books. I write too much, like I talk too much, like I'm doing now. But I feel like that's one of the reasons why you guys like me and stick around here. So just as I'm incapable of telling the story in 7 minutes and take 15 minutes to explain all of this, I can't write a 50, 60, 70,000 word romance novel. I write a 112,984 word romance novel. So those were the books that just kind of really got me starting to like think that romance, that you could blend genres, I guess is what I'm very incoherently trying to say. And so I'm very much inspired by those books that I was reading in the early 2000s. And so when I started writing romance in 2011, that was definitely still my inspiration. And I don't know how all of that had anything to do with where this book is at, but I think that was still a fun chat. So I'm gonna leave it in. I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm not gonna delete this clip and start over, but I am going to stop talking, and I want to work on my editing notes, and also I think look at my calendar in my planner for July and August and start working backwards from some of the deadlines that I want to set, and just start writing down some ideas. Let me make this full screen. I'm going to create another note in Scrivener for like publishing tasks and plans. We're going to see if we can get this project moving again, because I need to just publish this book. I want this one to be done and out and off my plate. Okay, I think I have a rough publishing calendar for all the final tasks. I think I have a list of all the final tasks. So I'm gonna run through this, so just so you get some idea of what goes into the final stages. If you can hear the leaf blower, it's currently walking outside the window. I apologize. I've got the air conditioning in the apartment. I've got leaf blowers outside the apartment. Anyway, I'm gonna try to ignore it. I hope you can ignore it as well. So this is where we're at. I'm up to draft 2 and I'm about to start draft 3. So I need to edit draft 3, which will finish the developmental edits. Then I need to start copy edit/line edit in Pro Writing Aid, with the goal of trying to cut at least 2,000, actually I need to say at least 3,000, because I'm almost to 13,000 words total. So I want to try to cut at least 3,000 words from the manuscript and try to get it down to around 110,000 words. Somewhere in the copy editing process, I need to finalize the book data, what I'm just terming the book data. So that's the title, the tagline, the book description, the front matter, which includes the title page, half title page, copyright, dedication, and previous books and series. Most of that is easy once I know what my title will be. Finalize the back matter, which is the call to action, the author's notes, the acknowledgements, the about section, a promotion section for the Across the Pond series, a promotion section for the Independent Heart series, and a promotion section for More Than Fate. I always market my own books at the back of each book, and then my also by Andrew D. Severson list. So I need to be finalizing all the book data. The title and the book description are the most important things. That all needs to be getting written and finalized while I am copy editing, because I need all of that information to be able to format the manuscript, because all of the formatting happens. And so when I format, I need to format the front matter and the back matter, which is all the same things I just listed, and I need to do that for both the paperback version and the Kindle version. I format them slightly differently. Proofread, just its whole thing. Then cover design, proofread slash, I'm trying to have a very detailed list here, and I know I'm still missing things out, but so proofread and then make the proofread corrections. Then somewhere in all of this, cover design, rough sketch, line sketch, scan and import the line sketch into Photoshop, finish the illustration in Photoshop, finish illustration in Photoshop, export the Kindle version, format the paperback cover, export the paperback. So I use the Kindle cover as the front cover image of the paperback, and then I just add in the spine and proofread, in the proofread section, get final page count for spine width. So download the template with spine width, format the paperback cover, export the paperback cover. Then we can upload the paperback and upload the Kindle copies to KDP. Then we can order the proof copy. Then we wait. Then we can publish the paperback and publish the Kindle. And then we wait again for everything to go live. And then it's launch day. And when I look at everything I've just listed, that all has to get done before launch day. So I've created two schedules. One that's ideal, but probably not going to happen, and one that's more realistic, and I'm going to try to make this work. And I've got probably not going to happen and try to make this work in parentheses under each of these schedules. So ideal would have me finishing draft 3 by this Friday, copy editing between June 21st and the 30th. It's going to take me more than 9 days to copy edit, but a girl can dream. Format July 1st and 2nd, proofread July 2nd to 19th. Again, it's going to take me more than 17 days to proofread. Cover design is running concurrently, so cover design is going to go from June 21st to July 31st. Book data, I wanted to have that nailed down by July 20th, because I will need that for those last 10 days of doing the cover. I can work on the illustration while I'm finalizing the book data, but July 20th is really when it needs, like, I should have it done before I even do the formatting. So don't know how that works in this ideal schedule. Upload everything by July 22nd, order the proof copy on July 22nd, hit publish on Thursday, August 15th, and launch on Monday, August 19th. That is all probably not going to happen, but that is what I am aiming for. The more realistic schedule is still finishing draft 3 edits by this Friday. I think I can do that. Then copy edit from June 21st to July 19th, so almost a full month to copy edit. If I'm doing Monday through Friday, that gives me 20 days. I don't know if that's exactly, but that if I've got 4 weeks, that's essentially 20 editing days, which would mean a few times I have to copy edit 2 chapters in a day. Actually, only 2 or 3 times would I need to do 2 chapters in a day. So for the most part, copy editing from June 21st to July 19th. So I think I could get it done in about a month. And then formatting July 22nd and 23rd. So I'd give myself a few days off from finishing copy editing before I do formatting and start proofreading. So format July 22nd and 23rd, proofread July 23rd to August 16th. So again, giving myself almost a month, which would mean that again, I'm proofreading like one chapter a day. During the times that I'm copy editing, proofreading, and just doing one chapter a day, I would also be doing cover design. So cover design is gonna start on Friday, if not sooner. So I've got cover design as being June 21st to July 31st. So having the cover illustration and the book data decided on and done by July 20th then gives me from July 20th to 31st to do the paperback cover. I'm trying to make sure that no matter which schedule I'm sticking to, I'm not doing so much work in one day that I'm not then having time to also rest on that day. Probably about 3 hours of book work each day, 2 to 3 hours of book work, of working on finishing this. So then I have about an hour or so to work on other work projects. Plus there's vlog editing that's going to be getting done throughout all of vlogging and vlog editing. So like, it's not just the book, and I have to keep reminding myself of that. There's other stuff I'm trying to do this summer as well, and I need to make time for that. So I can't be putting my schedule so tight that I have to be working 6, 7, 8 hours a day every day on this book, or nothing else is going to get done. So the realistic schedule: cover illustration and book data will be done by July 20th, with the cover design being done by July 31st. The proofreading will be done by August 16th, so I can upload everything on August 19th, order the proof on August 19th. I will then wait for the proof to arrive. Everything hopefully looks good with that. And then I can hopefully hit publish on September 5th, and we can have a launch day of September 9th. I had really wanted this book to be done before the semester started, and if I could have it launched by August 19th, it would be. But if I can at least have everything uploaded by August 19th, it means that as the semester is starting, all I am doing is waiting for the proof copy to arrive and waiting to hit publish. So we've got 2 potential launch days. Monday, August 19th would be the ideal. Monday, September 9th, I think is the more realistic option. So somewhere between the end of August and beginning of September. I wanted to create both schedules so that I have the ideal dates that I'm working towards. Like I'm going to try to get through everything as quickly as possible. I'm not going to skip a day of copy editing because I get ahead and I'm going to, I can take until July 19th. If I could finish copy editing earlier in July, like I think June 30th to finish copy editing is super ambitious, but like July 10th could happen. So it could be that we end up with some dates. Some of these things are slightly in the middle. The things that are unpredictable that I don't know if they could completely derail all of this. I really don't know what the title is. I know I can bash out a book description pretty quick, and I don't stress about book descriptions because you can change your book description, but the title, like titles are important. They just are. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So the title is something that could hold me up, and the cover design. I have a rough idea. I've got an image in my head of what I think I want the cover to be. So those are the things that, like, copy editing is pretty straightforward. Proofreading is pretty straightforward. I generally know the fastest I can do those things and the longest those 2 things could take. So I've got a good realistic range for both of those, but there's no predicting if my brain can come up with a title or if I can manage to draw the cover that I'm envisioning in my head. So those are the things that could hold me back. But yeah, I've been talking for way too long for this segment, and I need to stand up. My watch is telling me so. So I need to stand up. I need to get some more water because this is getting low. And I'm going to shift to thinking about editing and what needs to be done to finish the developmental edits, and then we can talk a little bit more about that. Nearly 2 o'clock. I feel like I'm ready to be done. I haven't really worked for that long, but I still feel like I'm ready to be done. Or at least that I'm ready to go sit down and like step away from this for a little while and then maybe step back. But I have done a tiny bit of editing. I've made some changes. Crossed off there was one bit that needed to be cut from 2 scenes, so I've done that. So that's been cut and I've crossed that off the list, and I've gone through my list for editing notes for draft 3, and it's really not much. There's just a couple things I need to rename, and I want to look at the first few paragraphs again and just, I'm still trying to make them as strong as possible. I'll be able to look at them again when I do the copy edit, because the copy edit is also kind of a line edit. It's a little bit of both, like I do both at the same time. And then also when I'm doing proofreading, if there's little tweaks I want to make, I can. But I did look at the first couple paragraphs during draft 2, so I have made some changes. So I'm just gonna look at it one more time before I declare draft 3 done. I think over the next few days, because it's only Monday, so what is on the list can definitely be done by Friday, if not even a little bit sooner. So I might be able to start copy editing by like Thursday or Friday, which would be fantastic. I've gone through my project notebook just to make sure there wasn't anything in there that I was missing, and I found my tracker from April. And I did finish on April 15th. I finished draft 2 and sent it to beta readers on April 15th. So it really has been about 2 months since I have opened this up and like really worked on this. Only for England would I take a break that long. So I've got my draft 3 editing notes list organized and finalized. I feel like this really is all that's left of the big stuff that needs to be changed, and then I can start copy editing. And I've started making a short list, currently just 1 item for my copy editing notes. I have created a section in Scrivener titled Book Data, and I'm starting to jot down title ideas and tagline ideas. I remembered, I found it, I completely forgot about this, but I have a working book description that is 195 words, so I feel like it's pretty good. Like, if this is what I have to use for the book description, I'll be happy with that. So I'll probably share this with my beta readers, get their feedback, and probably just keep workshopping it a little bit. I have 3 bad title ideas, but that haven't actually won. I would say I have 2 bad, because one of them isn't even really, I don't know. I've got 2 to 3 really bad title ideas, but they're titles that haven't been used already. And then I have 2 title ideas that I came up with, but they have been used. I've been searching on Amazon, like in the book section. If a title idea pops into my head, I search it on Amazon and try to find it. And so 2 of them, someone has already used. Well, one of them, it hadn't been used as a book title, but it's been used as like a song or album or playlist title for something that you wouldn't think based on the title, but that just is not quite what I want my like, it's not what I want popping up if someone searches for my book. We'll just say that. So yeah, so that's frustrating. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do for a title, but I have a month to figure it out. I feel like I need a title by around July 15th to July 20th, like somewhere in that week. I need to be nailing down a title. So yeah, it'll be fine. So I've got that section on Scrivener now, so I can start thinking about things. The title ideas that I've rejected are still on the list. I've just done a strike through on them so that I can see them there, but I know that they're not gonna work. So I have a list of, like, you know, title ideas, like something to do with these locations, or something with like a Love in London theme, or some kind of London pun, or I feel like Brave was the emotional theme for the first 3 books, and so we had A Brave Start, Brave with You, and Brave Together. So I'm trying to think what is the emotional theme or word for Celeste's story, and could it have something to do with that? And then there's another word that pops up a few times, like a kind of good, potentially like title appropriate type word that comes up a few times throughout the story, and so it could have the title could have that word in the title. So I've got some like rough like theme ideas for the title, but I don't like any of the titles I've come up with. And the title is something that it needs to be good. You can change your book description, you can change your tagline, or just get rid of a tagline. Like, I've got a couple ideas for the tagline, but I'm far less concerned about those. I'm really struggling. I struggle with this all the time, and it's been a while since I've had to figure out a title, because my friend Janelle came up with The Candle Shop of Wicks and Whimsy, and so that book had a title from the moment I started writing it. Inn of Hopes and Dreams. I feel like the Independent Heart series, I've got a rough formula, and so it's a little bit easier to figure out a title for that. And then Tamsin came up with More Than Fate, and my mom came up with A Brave Start, Brave with You, and Brave Together. So I'm just really struggling. So I need to talk to my mom, because maybe she can help me with this as well. But yeah, like, this is my least favorite part. I'm really struggling for ideas, and I'm just trying not to stress about it, because it'll happen. It'll all come together. It'll be fine. I'll figure something out. So I'm not gonna stress about it, or at least I'm gonna try not to. But I think I am gonna step away, because my coffee is almost done, and I just want to go lay on the couch for a little bit, to be honest, because I'm getting tired. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I might sit back down and try to brainstorm title ideas for another 15 minutes. I just think, like, every day for 15 or 20 minutes I need to brainstorm ideas and just think about stuff. But I did have some other work and like organizing I need to do, so I might do that as well. I feel like I shouldn't just completely stop work for the day. So I might come back here and work from, like, I might take a break from 2 to 3, and then from 3 to 4 do some more work at the desk, and then stop at 4. That feels kind of good. Anyway, that's where we're at. But I feel good. I feel good about the book. The story is really coming along, and I feel like generally the developmental edits are pretty much done. There's just these few little things I need to tweak, but as far as like the story and the plot and the characters, I think all of that's done. So I'm looking forward, in a way, as much as I can to copy editing. It's not my favorite part. Copy editing and proofreading are not my favorite part. It's such fine detail work, and my brain just can't handle fine detail work right now. So I'm a little apprehensive about that, but like, I am excited to just get it done. So, and reading through draft 2, like, I'm really happy with this story. So I think that's motivating me. I just want to get it done because I am really happy with the story and I just want you all to read it. I'm gonna shut up and stop talking and go lay down and rest because I'm tired of sitting at my desk, and then we will see about maybe doing some more work in a little bit. Okay, it's time to wrap this up. I've been back at my desk for a bit longer than I intended. It is 4:45, so it is time to end the workday and time to end this vlog. Been a good afternoon. I've gotten a lot done. I've just been sitting here doing a lot of just general admin type tasks and getting my task lists for the summer, like just admin work I need to do over the summer, and ideas for YouTube, ideas for book stuff, ideas for freelance stuff, and my business and everything, and like getting that going again. There's a lot to do, but as I'm yawning, I'm also reminding myself that like, if stuff doesn't get done, that's okay too. I've got goals, got things I want to do and that will make a difference, but it also really is about making the list of the things I want to do and the information that I need, and then just taking things one day at a time and one step at a time, and not putting pressure on myself to work a million hours each day, taking time to go for my walks in the morning, taking time to lay on the couch and relax and read a novel, and giving myself the weekends off. You know, all of those things are really important. So I feel like I've gotten a lot of things organized today. Tomorrow I can start getting some work done. So yeah, that's where we're at. It's been a very busy but productive day, but there's also been a lot of nice quiet moments. Like I said, I got a very slow start this morning. I was up for 5 hours before I got any work done. I had a really nice relaxing breakfast. I had a beautiful walk this morning. So like, it has been a really good day, and I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that I've managed to work for about 3 or 4 hours today, but I also had a lot of time to like rest before that, during that, and now I'm gonna go rest for a few hours before getting ready for bed tonight. So I think since it's just about 5 o'clock, I'm gonna go make myself a cup of Pimm's, get myself a Pimm's cup. I have had one Pimm's cup since being home, and it is just as good as I remember them. So it's taking some of the edge off of not being in England, is finding little ways of bringing England back here to Arizona. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go treat myself to a little Pimm's, and then I'll do dinner in a little while and just watch some YouTube. Oh no, Hulu. I need to get on Hulu. Welcome to Wrexham season 3. I had no idea it's been airing each week. Started watching it last night, so I want to keep watching that. That is what I'm watching tonight. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this writing vlog. This one might have gotten a little bit longer just because I feel like I did have a lot to talk about. But I have a feeling you guys aren't that mad about that. Quite a few of you were saying that you weren't really looking forward to going back to the 45-minute vlogs. You were really liking the hour-long vlogs. I will try to still, because I feel like a lot of you do like the 45-minute vlogs, so I will try to stick to around 45 minutes, but I do feel like some of you have now given me permission to have some of these vlogs be a little bit longer, so that might have been the case with this one. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what some of your writing projects are, if you're working on anything writing related. If you're not a writer, do you have any plans for this summer? What projects are you working on? What creative projects are you working on? Because I know a lot of you, even if you're not writers, you are creatives in some way. So what creative projects are we working on this summer? I know Camp Nano for July is inching closer. I'm not doing Camp Nano for July. I didn't do it for April. I'm not doing it for July. I think I'm just opting out of Nano for this whole year because I know I'm not going to do it in November, not even as a rebel. I'll be working on something in November, but I don't want to be like rigid with tracking things, and I'm not going to set like a really intense goal. We'll talk about November when November gets here. But yeah, what are you working on? Let me know. Are you interested in doing a gentle, relaxed creativity community project thing again in July? Or are we all just kind of doing our own thing for the whole summer? Let me know. And yeah, leave some writing related emojis to let me know which one of you lovely people have made it all the way to the end of this vlog, as well as letting me know what your current projects are and your summer plans. Give the vlog a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not subscribed, all of that great stuff. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I'm not gonna go because I'm talking absolute nonsense. It is time for me to just wind down for the day. So I'm gonna go do that, and I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Okay, editing Andrea here, popping in because I have a special guest who has a special announcement to make. She's a little bit nervous, but I've told her repeatedly that a lot of you are going to be very excited and very supportive. If you watch the England vlogs, you might have a guess based on a little giggle that you just heard in the background. But I'm gonna turn the camera around and let her make her special announcement.
So the announcement is that Mom has finally decided to start her YouTube channel.
Mom is gonna be so mad at you. That is not the announcement.
I'm kidding. The announcement is that I have decided to restart my YouTube channel. Yay! I haven't posted on YouTube in over 3 years and regularly in over 4. So I am really, really nervous about it, but after much persuasion from Andrea, and
much persuasion.
I am here, I am doing it. It's going up on the day that you'll be watching this.
Yep, Monday.
Yep.
Monday, June 24th. Yep.
And yeah, I'll be back on YouTube. So I don't really know what else to say apart from maybe please watch my video.
Yeah.
And that I hope you like it, and let me know if you came from this and from Andrew's vlog and from us telling you all about it, but you're the first people I'm telling, so feel honoured. I don't even think Alistair knows, my boyfriend. He'll just get home and I'll be like, I've decided to relaunch my YouTube channel. He'll walk into the tripod and everything set up, but yeah, no one really knows yet, so enjoy.
Very exciting. Yay. Okay, so you heard it here first. I got the YouTube exclusive. The one and only Tamsin Lena is coming back to YouTube. So I will try to link her video down below. I will put her channel name on the screen here. If you are already subscribed to her, check your sub box. Go turn notifications on. If you're not subscribed to her, go subscribe to her. Like, comment, subscribe on her video. Let her know that you've come from here. Let her know that Andrea sent you, or technically Tamsin sent you from my video. So yeah, go show her some love. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. My YouTube bestie, my YouTube sister, she's coming back to YouTube. It's like 2016 all over again. So Tamsin Lena 2.0, back better than ever. So yeah, thanks for watching the vlog you just watched, and now let's all go over to Tamsin's video and watch hers.